Hey, what's up everybody? This is Guillermo Auto. This video is how to fix power door locks on your Toyota that's not working. This particular car is a '06 Toyota Highlander. I'll show you what's going on. So when you hit unlock on my button, my door does not unlock. It does in the back. All my other doors will unlock and work normal. My driver door does not. And if I use my key, I could unlock the door and come in. And for those of you in a rush, I'll give you a quick spoiler. What it was my door lock actuator. Here, what it is. They go for about 280 to 300 bucks here in California and Sacramento. But there are other things we should check first because it could be some simple things I want to show you. Let me just show you the symptoms real quick, what I got going on. So my door, the lock works manually. It'll do its job. It's when I use the electronic part, it will not unlock or lock. So if I use the key or my fingers to lock it, it'll work fine. But when I'm using the button, as you can see, my other doors work fine. They all work normal. Mine doesn't. It's worn out because the driver door is the most used, so they wear out fastest. But I'm gonna need to get inside my door to look. I'll show you a couple fixes that it could be that I've seen. So first we gotta get the door apart. I'll show you real quick. Take this screw out right here. And go ahead and pop this clip out right here. Just push the center of it and it pops, and then you can pop it out. Ah, fell on me. It's trying to disappear on me, just like my dad. And then we're gonna pop this black part off up here. Go ahead and get this off, and then this you have to pop out from the sides. There's usually a screw in these, but this particular one, it's beneath them. So pop that out from the side, and then go ahead and get this screw out. Okay, I got this out, and save all these screws because you need them for reassembly. I'll pop this out. It pops out from the top. There's a little clip, and make sure you don't break this tab down here. That's why you pop it out from the top and pull it out towards the front of the vehicle. That little tab breaks, and then it'll be all loose on you, and it won't be as firm as it was. So I'm going to go and get this out and disconnect it. We're going to reuse it in a minute to use as a tool. So I got that disconnected. Then this part has to come off, this frame to the handle. You gotta be careful with these break real easy. What you want to do is you want to take something like a flathead and just pop the locks off near the handle and the lock base, and then you want to pull it towards the rear of the vehicle because there's a little like fingers that are in there. So just pull it out, set that aside, and then let's see. Yep, I just pulled my door off, all the white clips, and then this light's attached, so disconnect that light. So problem you might have that I've seen before is these will come disconnected. These will just pop out of place and they won't work. These ones are in place, but there's something that you should definitely check that first before you go get an actuator. I plug my panel back in and I turn my accessories on, and we're just gonna mess with the buttons and see what we could see or see if we could hear anything. So I'm hitting this and I see the other ones working. They're all working. And this one I could hear it clicking, but it's not working. So these are plugged in, and the cables are all in their guides. Let's take this plastic off. You can just peel it back. Like I said, the cables are in the guides, and when I move my lock right here, I can hear my actuator clicking, and it clicks the other lock. So I know the actuator has power, and I know that it's capable of knowing that this lock is moved. So that's a good sign. I'd say that's good. We have power and ground, and that the actuator is somewhat there operating. Let's get down here, follow my cable here, make sure your cable's plugged in. I know we just said it has power, but just double check that if yours isn't clicking. So I'm gonna put my phone in here, and you could hear it clicking when I'm pushing the button. So it's trying to work, but it just can't move the cables. So that would tell me, just from how many of these I've done, because I know it's a common thing on Toyotas that it's a bad actuator. So I'm gonna order up a new actuator and we'll see how it goes.
2 hours later.
Okay guys, so I got my new actuator. Here's the part number. This is from the dealership. I don't know if aftermarket sells these. Like I said, the dealership, it was 280 bucks to 300 bucks here in Sacramento, California. You'll notice it has these two metal things. Don't be intimidated by this weird looking thing. You can get it in. I'll show you how to get it in. I also have another video on how to put these in on a Toyota Sienna. It's like almost identical, so I'll put a link in the description. You can check that one out too. So first we're gonna have to take this handle off. It's a 10mm right here, and we're gonna pop these out. These just push right out. You don't have to be rough with them. You can just push them right out right here. and then you can disconnect them from their spots. They're made to where the green will only go where it's supposed to go, so you don't have to worry about switching them up. And then if you look down here, this is probably the hardest spot. You got these gold things you got to disconnect, these gold bars, I guess. That yellow connector, push it up first, and then you can pull it out. You can get in here. Sorry, bear with me. And then this pink one, you just push up and off, and it'll pop the little bar out of there. The yellow one, it's a little harder. You pop the cable up, and then you pull this straight out. I put a flathead up there and kind of pried it off. You gotta be gentle doing that though, because you could break it, and that yellow clip, if it breaks, that's not a good thing. It's kind of hard to find that one. It might just come with a handle only, so be real gentle if you do it that way. I've just done a few, so I know how hard I could push on it. And then also, when we get in here, there's the window track that should come out right here. It'll get in your way of getting the actuator out, so it's real easy. Just this one 10mm bolt, and that'll make it loose enough to be able to get out your way. And then you gotta get these Torx bolts out. This is where your actual actuator is. I'm using a Torx 27, and it works for me to get these off. I think it's the right size. It might be like a 28 or a 26, but 27 works for me fine. All right, so I got these out. I'm gonna go and remove this 10mm that's holding the actuator in as well. And so with those out, I was able to drop it down enough. I'm gonna disconnect this connector. I would disconnect your window switch before you disconnect this connector. All right, so I got it out. It can be kind of tough to get out. And then I just massage this guy out, this old actuator. And if you're having like a little bit of struggle, that's normal. You know, just you gotta work it out and work around the window track. You know, don't get mad and start pulling on it and ripping on it. You could break something. I got my new actuator here. So I went ahead and put my new actuator in. I got the bolts in, and I got the bars in up here. I went ahead and connected them. I have another video on how to, it's more in depth on how to get these out and get it back in. It's on a Toyota Sienna. I'll put the link in. You guys could check that one out for more information. It's pretty much identical to this car. And then, so we're gonna set up our cables. I know I'm moving kind of fast, but I'm gonna set up my cables, attach those, and then we're gonna test out the new actuator. So I got them connected. The green goes to the handle, white goes to the lock. Pop them in these connectors. Make sure they're in there good. Sometimes I messed up and I didn't put them in tight enough and they popped out, and then the door lock wouldn't work or the handle didn't work. So make sure they're in there good. Make sure you got them connected good, and run your cables in their guides right. So I put my 10mm in. I got my switch hooked up. Look at that. It's working normal, just fine. Everything's working fine. So I got my old one here, and yeah, so these, they will fail and not work at all. Sometimes they'll work like a little bit, sometimes they work intermittently. They fail in all kinds of ways. There's no way to really service them. You know, it is what it is. So yeah, I got my door all back together. Everything's working, so hopefully this video helped you guys out. Please try your handle and your lock from the inside and make sure it works on the outside. Make sure all your buttons on your master switch work. Sometimes, you know, you miss things or you forget to put one cable in or whatever. But thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you next video.